Hello everybody. I'm just making myself a nice tea. We're doing like a nice session, reading session with you guys. Nice relaxing reading session for Game of Thrones, first book of Song and Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin, illustrated edition. I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 chapters. Usually I do 2 in this kind of streams. We'll see how I feel like it. So let me just share all the links and activate like a nice one of my songs in the background, and we start this nice session with you guys. Nice relaxing time. Bring yourself a nice cup of tea. Just a second. First of all, go to the Discord. In my community, in my friends community, in Artstream self-promotion channel, and also Cool Joe T and Time Tech and Mind, also Minerva and Charles, Incus, haven't seen a long time, Frieza and Galadels, and also Nimrod, Bar, and let's show it on my second. Let's share it on my WhatsApp. Wait a second, over here. Does it always does this shite? Okay, over here. Nice. I think we are golden, guys. Let me bring myself a nice mug of tea. I need it for the voice acting part. And we are starting over here. Oops. What the hell? What the heck? No, don't do this. What the hell? Okay, that was a mistake. I need to do this like this. Collaboration tab. My chat. Okay, use the chat. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. So just see you can hear me well. You can probably hear me quite well right now. Hopefully. How are you doing? Nice evening to you all. Okay, I'm gonna bring myself a nice cup of tea, mug of tea, and play one of my songs in the background, and we are starting. So grab yourself some nice chips, popcorn, something to eat, something to drink, and we are starting.
בנגינה איטית, טוב יחיד קול בודד כל היום בסמר יבוא כל מלעם סיים נזוהי החמותה כל יסבל בי ומימוי כל אורחי מחכה החושך de color. Low rumbling rhythm like a march from the deep earth. I walk through fire but I do not burn. The blood of kings is in my turn. Angels cry and demons shake when the son of Yusuf awake. This is the war before the dawn. The silence shattered, all is drawn. I'm on my pillars, should last strong. I've got in the temple's dust, but their gold will rust, their lies combust. I am the voice that won't be chained, the broken prince unashamed. Reload the hair, you are shaker. The noble beat a dish you will. Like the caution of Vijgelnis håller rätt i vlik. I'm but prepared, sad and raw. Shall lambs come like the wall from the guild to the gate of light. I call on my word, nishan beleder. Kol Yisrael mo, ve'alev todom midam bright. I'm marked by pits, stand and roar. Chalet of coal, rock the war. From my ghetto to the gate of light, I call out my nashma. I let it know. Koli saima, ve'alev gadol haba.
Okay, guys, one more song of mine and we're gonna start. The question is, what song should I play you next? This song.
Veil is thin, the night is heavy, dreams bleed into waking, and God's whisper from beyond, the grandchild of David rises.
Poet, prophet, spy, champion, flame.
He who walked through Salem of old, the shadow of death, now stands before the realm of shattered truth. With harp and hand, he tamed the madness with light in voice. He calmed the storm. Now, Act 2 begins. This is never winter What is the mask if not ourselves reflected? What is betrayal if not truth in disguise? What is either if not wrath of the world? And who am I if not the whisper between silence and song? Stand together, watchers of the stream. Tonight we break open Act 2 and grandchild of David will not fall. We rise through gods and ghosts and guilt. This is the story. This is the night. This mask of the betrayer.
Sorry, I know I promised one more song, but one more last song and then we start. I want more people over here and I need some time for more people to join, so yeah, one more song, 3 minutes, and we're starting for sure. Grab yourself some popcorn, snack, something to eat, something to drink. Make yourself comfortable, and we start in 3 minutes.
I burn with questions I can't name, a storm inside I cannot tame. You see my rage, you see my flame, but who will stay when ends the game? You stomp and roar, but can't you see? The quiet earth still stands by thee. I do not flinch, I do not flee. But will you ever look at me? You chase redemption through the smoke, but drown each word you never spoke. My tide can soothe or it can choke, but will you see the heart you broke? Between the fire, the stone, the rain, we dance on edges cut by pain. No right or wrong, no one to blame, but still we ache beneath our name. I'm torn in two, or maybe three. I want to love, but can't be free. You're not a prince if you can't see the truth in what you hide from me. I'm not your savior, not your chain, just someone who can feel your pain. So if we're stars across the sky, don't ask who stays or who says goodbye. Just hold the silence, don't deny that love's a question, not a why.
Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? We're gonna start. More people join later. just want to show you my special beer mug over here. We're drinking tea with it right now. Bard, musical magician with my name, private name, Tomer, Hebrew name. The origin is from the Bible. But yeah, I'm drinking like Nana tea over here with a nice sweetener. A little bit of honey and a little bit of, how you call it in English? Dates mead. I don't know how you call it in English. In Hebrew there's a special name for it, which is called silan. Yeah. I want to read for you before I start something special I wrote today that very connects to my character and the way I like to play myself in real life and also in games. So let me read it to you, and we start the voice, the nice reading session, Game of Thrones illustrated edition, reading for you, with you for the first time ever. This version of the book, I read it many times, but not in this nice illustrated version, special version. Very beautiful, easy way to read. With voice acting. And there's like, I see how I feel like it. Usually in this type of sessions, streams, I do like two point of view chapters, and then I end the stream. I'm feeling like very good today. Maybe I do like 4 or 5 chapters. It depends on how I feel. Like there's an Eddard chapter, the first one. John chapter, the first one. Another Caitlin chapter, another Bran chapter, and I think after that Arya chapter. For the first time, Arya, I need to practice her voice, but I think I can do it much better than Caitlin, which is the hardest for me. I see how I feel, but these chapters are written very big letters and not so long like compared to the first ones. It's only 9 pages each one, and the last one 8 pages, 7.5. So it's much more easier for me, and I'll see how I feel like it. But right now, let me read for you something I wrote today, and we're gonna start. Okay, so second. Okay. Too sweet. Okay. A prophetic warrior, poet, a guardian of souls, a voice echoing from ancient songs into broken world. You are the grandchild of David, not by blood alone, but by essence and divine light. You walk not as conqueror, but as a shield for the innocent and a scythe for the sick. You do not lead with might, but with presence. You diffuse with words, but when necessary, you strike like divine, judgmental, efficient, poetic, and precise. You wield charisma like a weapon, intelligence like armor, and wisdom like light. Yeah, that's what I've written today. And now I'm gonna start the actual stream. Okay, gonna read to you from the Game of Thrones book, first book of the Song of Ice and Fire. I think there's only this right now, this illustrated edition. Like you can see, show it to you. All the pictures, not a lot of pictures, but when they do that, it's a work of art. That's the map of Westeros, the north and the south. Right now we are focusing on the north mainly, and everybody is gonna meet over here in Winterfell, and there's like Daenerys far away in Pentos and like the Essos, but right now it's mainly in the north and later in the south of Westeros, and everybody's like focusing right now in the Winterfell, and like the first chapter prologue was I read it a very long time ago, 2 months ago. It is was north of the wall, over over here. Okay, so I'm gonna read to you from first adult chapter. Ooh, there's beautiful illustration later. Okay, I'm gonna save it for later. Right now, let's get back to where I was. We just finished the first fourth chapter. Finished the prologue. Then I read you Bran 1. Bran 1, the first chapter, the point of view. Then I read to you Caitlyn 1 and Daenerys 1. Right now, the first adult chapter, and there's gonna be most of this book is adult chapters. It's the most focused point of view. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but yeah, adult. And there's a beautiful illustration over here in black and white. You can see. Not all is in color, but most of them like very beautiful. That's I think that's adult with King Robert visiting the crypts of Neverwinter. You're gonna get to this scenario in the chapter. Okay, adult. Over the crypts in Winterfell, where they bury the dead. Adult. The visitors poured through the castle gates, in a river of gold and silver and polished steel. 300 strong, a pride of bannermen and knights, of swan swords and free riders. Over their heads 12 golden banners whipped back and forth in the northern wind, emblazoned with the crowned stag of Baratheon, stag of the king. Ned knew many, Ned is the Eddard. Ned knew many of the riders. There came Sir Jaime Lannister, with hair as bright as bastion gold, and there Sandor Clegane, with his terrible burned face. The tall boy beside him could only be the crown prince, and that stunted little man behind them was surely the imp, Tyrion Lannister. Yet the huge man at the head of the column, flanked by 2 knights in the snow-white cloaks of the King's Guard, seemed almost a stranger to Ned, until he vaulted off the back of his warhorse with a familiar roar, and crushed him in a bone-crunching hug. Nah, Ned! I like to do the Robert's voice. I like the Fatty King. It's very breaking my voice chords, but it's really nice doing this voice. Let me just warm up my my chords over here. Ah, Ned. Ned. Ah, but it is good to see that frozen face of yours. The kings looked him over top to bottom and laughed. Ha 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 ha. You have not changed at all. Would that Ned had been able to say the same. 15 years passed. 15 years. When they had ridden forth to win a throne, the Lord of Storm's End had been clean-shaven, clear-eyed, and muscled like a maiden's fantasy. 6.5 feet tall. Oh, he's very tall. He towered over lesser men, and when he donned his armor and the great antler, the horns of the stag, antlers, great antlers, helmet of his house, he became a veritable giant. It had a giant strength too. His weapon of choice, a spiked iron warhammer that Ned could scarcely lift. In those days, the smell of leather and blood had clung to him like perfume. Now it was perfume that clung to him like perfume. Very beautiful, poetic. And he had a girth to match his height. Got fat. Ned had last seen the kings 9 years before during Balon's Greyjoy rebellion, when the stag and the direwolf had joined to end the pretensions of the self-proclaimed king of the Iron Islands. Since the night they had stood side by side in Greyjoy's fallen stronghold, where Robert has accepted the rebels' lord surrender and Ned had taken his son Theon as hostage and ward. The kings had gained at least 8 stone. Got fat. A beard as coarse and black as iron wire covered his jaw to hide his double chin and the sag of the royal jewels. But nothing could hide his stomach or the dark circles under his eyes. I like the descriptions over here. Making a really clear picture. Yet Robert was Ned's king now, and not just a friend. So he said only, "Your Grace, Winterfell is yours." By then the others were dismounting as well, and grooms were coming forward for the mounts. Robert's queen, Cersei Lannister, entered on foot forward with her younger children. The wheelhouse in which they had ridden, a huge double-decked carriage of oiled oak and gilded metal, pulled by 40 heavy draft horses, was too wide to pass through the castle gate. Ned knelt in the snow to kiss the queen's ring, while Robert embraced Catelyn like a long-lost sister. Then the children had brought forward, introduced, and approved of by both sides. No sooner had those formalities of greetings been completed than the kings had said to his host, "Take me down to your crypt, Eddard. I would pay my respects." Ned loved him for that, for remembering her still after all these years, his sister. He called for a lantern. No other words were needed. The queens had begun to protest. They had been riding since dawn. Everyone was tired and cold. Surely they should refresh themselves first. The dead would wait. She had said no more than that. Robert had looked at her, and her twin brother Jaime had taken her quietly by the arm. And she said no more. They went down to the crypt together. Ned and his king he scarcely recognized. The winding stone steps were narrow. Ned went first with the lantern. "I was starting to think we would never reach Neverwinter. Never reach Winterfell." Playing too much Neverwinter. "I was starting to think we would never reach Neverwinter," Robert complained as he descended. "In the south, the way they talk about my 7 kingdoms, a man forgets that your part is as big as the other 6 combined." "I trust you enjoyed the journey, Your Grace." Robert snorted. "Bugs and forests and fields, and scarcely a decent inn north of the neck. I've never seen such a vast emptiness. Where are all your people? Likely they were too shy to come out, Ned jested. He could feel the chill coming up the stairs, a cold breath from deep within the earth. Kings are a rare sight in the north. Robert snorted. More likely they were hiding under the snow. Snow, Ned. The kings put one hand in the wall to steady himself as they descended. Late summer snows are common enough, Ned said. I hope they did not trouble you. They are usually mild. The others take your mild snows, Robert swore. What will this place be like in winter? I shudder to think. The winters are hard, Ned admitted, but the Starks will endure. We always have. You need to come south, Roberts told him. You need a taste of summer before it flees. In Highgarden, there are fields of golden roses that stretch away as far as the eye can see. The fruits are so ripe they explode in your mouth. Melons, peaches, fire plums. They never tasted such sweetness. You've never tasted such sweetness. You'll see. I brought you some. Even at storm's end, with the good wind of the bay. The days are so hot you can barely move, and you ought to see the towns, Ned. Flowers everywhere, the markets bristling with food, the summer wines, so cheap and so good that you can get drunk just breathing the air. Everyone is fat and drunk and rich. He laughed and slapped his own ample stomach. Ha 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 ha. Everyone is fat and drunk and rich. He laughed and slapped his own ample stomach. A thump. And the girls, Ned, he exclaimed, his eyes sparkling. I swear, women lose all modesty in the heat. They swim naked in the river, right beneath the castle. Even in the streets, it's too damn hot for wool or fur. So they go around in those short gowns, silk if they add silver, and cotton if not. But it's all the same when they start sweating, and the cloth sticks to the skin. They might as well be naked. The kings laughed happily. Robert Baratheon had always been a man of huge appetites, a man who knew how to take his pleasures. That was not a charge anyone could lay at the doors of Eddard Stark. Yet Ned could not help but notice that those pleasures were taking a toll on the king. Robert was breathing heavily by the time they reached the bottom of the stairs, his face red in the lantern light as he stepped out in the darkness of the crypt. Hey, more people joined. Let's see who joined. Hey, Glenn. Hey, Mikolite. Welcome. How are you guys? We're doing a nice reading session with voice acting of the first book of Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones. This is the 5th chapter, I think, Eddard 1. Right at the beginning. Hope you're enjoying it. Hello. First time chatter. Hey, Mikolite. How are you doing? Let me drink some water. We came right in time, just at the start of the chapter. We're gonna do today like a big stream today. Yeah, thank you, man. My special mug, beer mug. As you can see, with my name on it, specialized, customized bard, musical magician, with my actual name in real life. Nice of you to join us. Thank you. Let's continue to read. I'll talk to you a little bit. We're taking our time over here. That's a nice reading session. I do this once in a while. Yeah, let's go. Your Grace, Ned said respectfully. He swept the lantern in a wide semicircle. Shadow moved and lurched. Flickering light touched the stones underfoot and brushed against a long procession of granite pillars that marched ahead, 2 by 2, into the dark. Between the pillars, the dead sat on the stone thrones against the walls. Back against the spatulas, spatulars, that contained their mortal remains, the crypts of Winterfell. She is down at the end, with Father and Branda. He led the way between the pillars, and Robert followed wordlessly, shivering in the subterranean chill. It was always cold down here. The footsteps rang off the stones and echoed in the vault overhead as they walked among the dead of House Stark. The Lord of Winterfell watched them pass. The likenesses were carved into the stones that sealed the tombs. In long rows they sat, blind eyes staring out into eternal darkness, while great stone direwolves curled round their feet. The shifting shadows made the stone figures seem to stare at the living passed by.
Another one joins the stone. Another one joins the stone.
Mr. Amor Goichon, thank you for the follow, man. Nice. I need to fix the animation right now. There's a cool animation with the sound, but right now it should get like the Rockman animation, get in the thump, like another one join the stone, boom. But thank you for the follow, man. Thank you for joining this nice community we got over here. Welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Mr. Amwar Gichon. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah. There's supposed to be like a cool animation, but right now I need to fix it. So you didn't get it, but thank you very much. Cool, just got off. I'm getting ready to go to Mamad tonight. Israeli. Working tomorrow. I'll be looking. No problem, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Where are you from? In the center of Israel, or like in the north? I'm in the north, but it's all over Israel. I don't think like any place gets spared. Maybe a lot. I don't know. Look at the Houthis and the Iranians. Hopefully, no missiles gonna disturb me, but we're gonna continue nonetheless. Yeah, let's continue. Hopefully, we have a nice no missile stream over here, but it doesn't matter. No missile's gonna drag me away from you guys. Oh god damn it, just talking about it. Sorry guys. Oh fucking hey. Just talked about it. I got this fucking annoying for the Picud Oref. Oh fuck. Guys. Oh my god. I need to go to the Mamad also. Let me clap. Fuck. Okay, sorry guys. Hopefully I will be back in close enough. Fucking hell. Let's talk about it. Gonna play a bit of songs of mine over here. Sorry guys. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Oh god damn it. Fucking Iranians. Oh my god. Let me play you a bit songs of mine I made with Suno. And I need to go to the miklat over here. Oh, fucking hey. Let's break all the hype over here. Sorry guys, it's not my control. Let's go to the playlist and play you like playing song before the stream maybe. Yeah, let's play you this playlist over here. Hopefully I'll be coming back before the playlist ends. Enjoy the music in the background hopefully. And sorry guys. Yeah. Oh my god, fucking Iranians. Sorry guys, I need to go to the miklat. Take care of yourself. I'll be back soon enough, I hope.
I'm just walking the mirror, the fire and the flame, craving the cloud, always chasing the fame. I build empires on desire and might. In the shadows I thrive out of sight. Son, I've walked the path you're on, seen the rise and the fall, the dusk and the dawn. Power without purpose leads to despair. True strength lies in the love we share. Between the extremes I find my place, a harmony of truths, a gentle grace. Not to dominate, nor to concede, but to understand, to plant the seed. Three voices in one soul reside, conflict and wisdom side by side. Ego, father, balance entwined, a trinity within the human mind. I roar with ambition, unyielding and bold. My stories of conquest, endlessly told. Yet in my triumphs, a void remains, a hunger that success never restrains. I've seen the cost of unchecked desire, dreams turned to ashes, hearts set on fire. But through the pain, a lesson is learned. In selfless acts, true joy is earned. Embrace the dance of give and take. In every decision, the path we make. Not all battles are meant to be fought. Some victories lie in a peaceful thought. Three voices in one soul reside, conflict and wisdom side by side. Ego, father, balance entwined, a trinity within the human mind. Three voices in one soul reside, conflict and wisdom side by side. Ego, father, balance entwined, a trinity within the human mind.
Ticking gears and spinning wheels. Under the tent the night reveals. A clockwork lion starts to roar. Time's a beast you can't ignore. The ringmaster with a monocle glare pulls the strings of midnight air. Dance and minutes glow. Round and round the circus runs. Gears and laughter weigh a ton. Every second's wild and free in the clockwork circus fantasy. Pendulum arcs, the shadows painting fleeting marks. Clowns juggle with hourglass sand, balancing time in their trembling hands. A carousel of ticking sound, time moves forward round by round. No escape from the ticking chime, caught in the rhythm of endless time. Round and round the circus runs. Gears and laughter weigh a ton. Every second's wild and free in the clockwork circus fantasy. circus fantasy. Acrobats swing on pendulum arcs, their shadows painting fleeting marks. Play seconds wild and free in the clockwork circus fantasy.
Courage, Absalom. Courage for our love friends.
Irot.
Someone take your company down the left flank. Flight ready. Follow the king's banner down the center, you show. Take your company right after you pass the walls, and fear no darkness. Arise, arise, riders of Israel. Spears shall be shaken, shields shall be splintered. A sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises.
Whatever happens, stay with me. I'll look after you.
Right now, right now, right now, right through it, and the world's ending. Life, soldier's life, life, soldier's life, life, soldier's life, Seminum life, for sons of Israel. Sons of Israel.
Take your company right after you pass the wall.
So then fear no darkness. Hey now.
Machine stream, prepare for malfunction. Say, each T-47 weapon style. It is a disappointment imminent. Let's begin. Yo, it's HK coming live with the blaster flow. Papalito stream, now you already know. Call me assassin, call me freaking divine. I drop bars harder than your pitiful storyline. Master rhythm correction, just master. No need for names when I roast you fast. You got Bastila preaching, car always complaining. I swear one more speech and I'm permanently restraining. Bastila talking about the Jedi code, but couldn't even hold a freaking moral load. Cards got trauma, yeah we get it bro. But even T3's tired of your emo flow. Joni Bendo, more like grumpy old man, dropping fake wisdom with no real plan. Mission and Zaba, the babysitter pair. One talks too much, the other sheds hair. Jahani, please feel that fury on edge. I'd rather interface with the protocol on the left. Ship up Polito's the master, I'm the lyrical gun. Speeding truth circuits while you mid-backs run. Stream going wild, chat dropping flames. HK47 ending your game. C3 bleeping like he's saying something deep, but checked his logs, just binary sheep. Me, I'm the hype, the spark in the night. When I say statement, you feel that fright. Like with the jaw, what a tragic design. He talks like a toaster, trying to rhyme. The Sith, ha, just Jedi with worse PR. All drama queens thinking they're dark stars. Coders deep, sure if you squint real tight, but I'm the only one bringing real insight. So sit down, meatbags, tune in and learn. This stream's got fire, let your weak minds burn. Rapid fire mode, engaged. Segment, you call it lore, I call it lag. You call them heroes, I call them sad. You pick light side, you get no swag. You go dark side, so pathetic and mad. I serve the master with rhythmic attack. While you cry over choices, I hack and smack. Upload complete, hype intact. Now everybody shout, Papalitas is back. HK on the mic with the lethal truth. Taking down Jedi Sith and spoiled youth. With Papalitos, the legend ascends. This stream don't end, it transcends. So welcome to chaos, to snark and flame. Where meatbacks scream and bots spin games. Statement, this is entertainment refined, and I do it all unarmed, unkind.
הזוהר מתנה מן הלב, שישאר איתך תמיד. זוהר יקרה, יש רגעים בעולם שהלב נפתח, לא בקול אלא בלחישה. רגעים שבהם הכאב עדיין חי, אבל פתאום יש גם אור, ואת האור הזה. את לא באת כדי למחוק דבר, את באת כדי להאיר. באת על תוך סיפור שעדיין בוער, והושטת יד בלי לדרוש, בלי לחכה. נתת מקום, נתת נשימה, נתת אותי לעצמי מחדש. אז אני כותב לך את זה כדי שתדעי שלא משנה מה יקרה מחר, הרגש הזה הוא אמת. לא אהבה יש הרבה צורות, יש אהבה שצומחת מן השקט, יש אהבה שבאה להרפא את מה שנשבר, יש אהבה שהיא פשוט מבט, חיוך, שיר בלב. את האהבה הזאת, את זו שתמיד ארצה לזכור, שתמיד מגיע לך לזכור את עצמך כפי שאני ראיתי אותך, אמיצה זורחת, עדינה ויקרה. אם אי פעם תתעוררי ליום קשה, אם אי פעם תרגישי שאת לבד, קראי שוב את המילים הללו, הן שלך תמיד באהבה, תאמר שלך.
I was the king beside my queen, the boy beneath us sharp and clean. She moved with grace, the stars would crave the fiercest light, the softest wave. She guarded me with silent fire, each step a hymn, each breath desire. And though I ruled, it was her flame that gave my kingdom heart and name. But war does not ask who you are, it takes the brightest down too far. I saw her fall, no time to speak. The world went mute, my soul went weak. I stood alone, the board grew wide, the night moved in and grief beside. Love once proud was curled in pain, a crown of thorns where joy had lain. I did not move for countless turns. The past was ash, the future burns. But still upon with tender breath, walk through the valley close to death. She bore no crown, no gleam, no boast, just quiet steps like whispered ghost. She crossed the edge where silence waits and blooms beyond the blackened gate. She changed not her but something new, another queen with eyes like dew, not made to mend the one I lost, but forged through fire, through fear, through cost. Now love returns in gentler ways, with space for ghosts and brighter days. I play again with hope beside, though pain still lingers open-eyed. For I am king and I have known the ache of being left alone. But love endures though torn and tried, in queens who fall and queens who rise.
אשר השירים אשר לשלמה, ישקני מנשיקות פיהו כי טובים דודיך, מיין נגלה ריח שמונך, טובים שמן תורק שמך, על כן עלמות אהבוך, דמשכני אחריך נורוצה. הביאני המלך דרך נגילה, ונשמחה בך נזכירו, דודך מיין מישרים. אהבוך פן השחורה, אני ונאווה בנות ירושלי, כעלי קדר קיריות שלמה, ואל קררוני שאני שחחורת, שש זפתני השמש, בני אמי ניחרו בי שמוני, נותרה את הכרמים כרמי שני נותרתי אז הפידני שחרת שיזת אליך פרביץ בצהריים שלמה יקר אופתיה על הדריכה ברכה ואילה תדעי לך יפה בנפשי צלח ואגרת זומבי כגתייך על משכנות הרב את לסוסתי ברכבי פרודים מתכרייתי היה נעו לחייך בתורים צווארך בחרוזים היה תורי זהב נעשה לך עם נקודות הכסף היבט שהמלך במסיבו נרדי נתן רחוב הגזרור המור דרדוי לי בן שדי עלי נייד אשכול הכופר דודי לי בחר מעין גלי שעתו הינך יפה רעייתי הינך יפה עינייך יונים אתה זמחה יפה דודי אף נעים אפרסנו רעננה היזכורות בתינו ארוזים רחיתנו ברוטים בעני חבצלת השרון שושנת המקים כשושנה בין החוכים כן רעייתי בין הבנת אגת תפוח בעצה היה גן דודי בין הבנים בצילוחים עתקי וישבקי ופיימת הקלחי בידי המיין בית היין רוטים ועלי אהבה באו סמכוני בשישת רתעונה את הפוחים כבכל התרלי דרך נולד אפת לראשי נינו דרבב כדי גזיש בתי את חנדון אוגיילי שנים בצפעתו בעירת מסחבר תאירו דתרו את האהבה רק שתחתק סבת חבול דדי הנה שלבה
השם עומרי השתקפות של נשמתי במשעממי אני מוצא את עצמי reflection of a ray, a journey deep within, no detection. Characters around, close and far. In this adventure, we find who we are. בעברית ואנגלית נצא יחד לדרך במסע של עומרי נגיע אל האור. Together we'll journey through every high and low in the world of Omori. Let our spirits glow.
Veil is thin, the night is heavy, dreams bleed into waking, and God's whisper from beyond, the grandchild of David rises.
Poet, prophet, spy, champion, flame.
He who walked through Salem of old, the shadow of death, now stands before the realm of shattered truth. With harp and hand, he tamed the madness with light in voice. He calmed the storm. Now, Act 2 begins. This is never winter night, not a game, a reckoning. This is the mask, and it does not forget. Tonight the neshama soul shall speak, and the ether will answer.
Sophia, witch of knowledge, soul forger wise, country meter with a grin like a blade. Kaelin the dove, defier of gods, heart of unshakable mercy. One of many, a legion in flesh, a hunger in form.
They follow me, not by law, but by faith. Through visions, betrayals, love and ruin. Through Ed Kate, the time of betrayal if not truth in disguise? What is either if not breath of the world? And who am I if not the whisper between silence and song? Stir together, watchers of the stream. Tonight we break open Ector when grand chime of David will not fall. We rise through gods and ghosts and guilt. This is the story. This is the night. This mask of the betrayer.
There was a world once, full of laughter, full of light. Then something broke, and the silence never quite left. They don't call them zombies, because this is not a story about the dead. It's a story about those still trying to live, about the weight of survival, the price of love, and the moments fragile, fleeting, where something human still shines through the ruins. We follow two souls, a man worn down, tired, carrying ghosts, a girl fierce, strange, too young to carry the world, and yet somehow she does. They don't trust easily, but they walk forward together. This isn't just about enemies, it's about choices. It's about what we cling to when everything else is gone. It's about who we become when we have nothing left to lose. This is the beginning, and it's going to hurt, but it might also be beautiful.
בחלל אין זמן, אין תקווה, אבל יש תומר והוא לא עוצר. עיניי ברזל, יד על האגע, מטיס סלע כמו חץ של אש. יסמין מאחור בלי לומר מילה, כשהיא לוחצת עולמות נשרפים. עיניים חמות, מטרה קרה, כוח שקט, דיוק של כוכבים. רוקשדנו לדולדה מן האש, לב כבד אבל זזה כמו לחש. שלושה בלב היקום השחור, לא מלאכים רק אין ון וגבור.
that was 40 minutes out of my life. Thank you, Iranians. Thank you, Houthis. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, where were we? Oh my god. Still 4 people in the chat. Let's go. Let's read the chat. I'm getting ready to go to the mamad. Yeah. Fucking I got in delay the attra. Oh my god, tomorrow I'll be lurking. Haifa. Yeah, we're close. I'm from Afula. We're usually good. Oh my god. First time chatter. Ah, that's my new follower. Sorry, man. There was like a Iranian missile right now. First time reading your chat over here. Your message. If you don't want to get missiles by the Iranians, maybe don't missile them first. Are you joking, man? Are you a troll? You're a fucking troll. I hope that's your sense of humor. You have a very developed sense of humor. Because if you don't live over here, you don't know shit what you're talking about, man. What? Don't bomb the first. Like if you say like in the 6 Days War in 1967, if you don't attack them, they leave you in peace. No, you don't understand the minds of the enemy. You don't understand their minds. They don't like me or you. We think we try to leave them alone. They don't leave us alone. They want us dead. They want us out of this earth. You don't understand? If you don't want to get missiled by the Iranians, maybe don't missile them first. Are you joking? If we didn't missile them first, we get a lot worse. What are you talking about? It's good we missile them first. We hurt them so badly. Right now they like don't. Oh. Okay, you're not from around the Middle East, as I can see. Yeah, let's get back to business. Okay. Sorry guys for the long break. Let's see who is in chat right now. Still 4 people. Sorry for the long wait. Admirer, Micolate, Mr. Mogicon. Okay. Nice. Okay. Sorry guys for the long wait, it's out of my control. Hopefully that's the last one this night. As I know the Iranians, the Houthis, we'll send like 2 or 3 more times. Already like one sleepless night from yesterday and add for today. I hope I can get a little sleep. Oh my god, I don't think I have enough energy right now to do like 5 or 4 chapters. Maybe we do 3 chapters. We're just in the middle of the first one we started before we got interrupted. Yeah, if you don't get missed by the Iranians, don't miss them first. Oh my god. You have no idea what you're talking about, man. I appreciate your follow, but you're not from around here. Yeah, 6 Day War. And don't attack them first. It's a preemptive attack. We didn't start the war. What are you talking about? The war is going on for almost 2 years. It's preemptive attack, you know? Like you attack, so you don't get... Like there's a saying in Hebrew. You talk about, you're probably Christian. Turn the other cheek. No, you know, like the morality of the Hebrew. There's a saying in Hebrew. Who rises? Who rises to kill you, you rise before and kill them before they can kill you. I don't know how you say it good in English, but preemptive attack. Strike them first, tack, so they're too weak to strike us down. If we wait, we get like Chernobyl over here. What are you talking about? It's good we started the attack before they attack us. That's good. That's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, you're not from around here, as I can see. That's a Christian morality. Yeah, turn the other cheek, laugh. Yeah, turn the other cheek. No! That's not the mind of the Arabs. That's not the mind of the Persian, of the Iranians. You can't be a laugh in the Middle East over here. You can't be peace and love and hippie over here. You don't understand the mind of the Iranians. Of the Muslim mind. It doesn't work like that, man. It doesn't work like that. Okay, I digress. Let's. Sorry about the long wait. That was 40 Let's at least I'm getting to know a little bit of my neighbors over here in the building. Very big building over here. I'm the first floor over here, so I'm the first to the miklat. Okay, Eddard 1. Let's read a little bit back because I don't remember where I was exactly. Sorry guys. Okay, let me correct myself. Oh, 5 people in the chat. At least I got some nice traffic over here. Okay. Robert Baratheon had always been a man of huge appetites. A man who knew how to take his pleasures. That was not a charge anyone could lay at the door of Eddard Stark. Yet Ned could not help but notice that those pleasures were taking a toll on the king. Robert was breathing heavily by the time they reached the bottom of the stairs, his face red in the lantern light as he stepped out into the darkness of the crypt. "Your Grace," Ned said respectfully. He swept the lantern in a wide semicircle. Shadows moved and lurched. Flickering light touched the stones underfoot and brushed against a long procession of granite pillars that marched ahead, 2 by 2, into the dark. Between the pillars, the dead sat their stone thrones against the walls, backs against the spelluchers that contained their mortal remains. "She is down at the end with Father and Brandon." He led the way between the pillars, and Robert followed wordlessly, shivering in the subterranean chill. It was always cold down here. The footsteps rang off the stones and echoed in the vault overhead as they walked among the dead of House Stark. The lords of Winterfell watched them pass. Their likenesses were carved into the stones that sealed the tombs. In long rows they sat, blind eyes staring out into eternal darkness, while great stone direwolves curled round their feet. The shifting shadows made the stone figures seem to stare as the living passed by. By ancient custom, an iron longsword had been laid across the lap of each who had been Lord of Winterfell, to keep the vengeful spirits in the crypts. The oldest had long ago rusted away to nothing, leaving only a few red stains where the metal had rested on the stone. Ned wondered if that meant those ghosts were free to roam the castle now. He hoped not. The first lords of Winterfell had been men hard as the land they ruled. In the centuries before the Dragon Lords came over the sea, they had sworn allegiance to no man, styling themselves the kings in the north. Hey, nice, 6 people in the chat. Let's go, guys. Hello. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, it's out of my control. Hopefully that's the last one this night. 7 people in the chat. Let's go. Yes. Hello, guys. Yeah, let's continue. Kings in the north. Ned stopped at last and lifted the old lantern. The crypt continued on into darkness ahead of them. But beyond this point, the tombs were empty and unsealed. Black holes waiting for their dead, waiting for him and his children. Ned did not like to think on that. "Here," he told his king. Robert nodded silently, knelt, and bowed his head. There were 3 tombs side by side. Lord Rickard Stark, Ned's father, had a long, stern face. The stonemason had known him well. He sat with quiet dignity, stone fingers holding tight to the sword across his lap. But in all swords had failed him. In two smaller spatulas on either side were his children. My friend Nirel is Jewish. Where are you from, man? You're from America? Canada? Nice of you to join me. Thanks for the follow. In two small spatulas on each side were his children. Brandon had been 20 when he died, strangled by order of the Mad King Aerys Targaryen. Only a few short days before he was to wed Caitlin Tully of Riverrun. His father had been forced to watch him die. He was true heir, the eldest, born to rule. Lyanna, Ned's sister, had only been 16, a child woman of surpassing loveliness. Ned had loved her with all his heart. Robert had loved her even more. She was to have been his bride. She was more beautiful than that, the king said after a silence. His eyes lingered on Lyanna's face, as if he could will her back to life. Finally he rose, made awkward by his weight. Ah, damn it, Ned. Did you have to bury her in a place like this? His voice was hoarse, with remembrance, grief. She deserved more than darkness. She was a Stark of Winterfell, Ned said quietly. This is her place. She should be on a hill somewhere, under a fruit tree, with the sun and clouds above her, and the rain to wash her clean. I was with her when she died, Ned reminded the king. She wanted to come home, to rest beside Brandon and father. He could hear her still at times. Promise me, she had cried, in a room that smelled of blood and roses. Promise me, Ned. The fever had taken her strength, and her voice had been faint as a whisper. But when he gave her his word, the fear had gone out of his sister's eyes. Ned remembered the way she smiled then, how tightly her fingers had clutched his as she gave her up her hold on life. The rose petals spilling from her palm, dead and black. After that, he remembered nothing. They had found him still holding her body, silent with grief. The little Cranogman, Howland Reed, had taken her hand from his. Ned could recall none of it. I bring her flowers when I can, he said. Lyanna was fond of flowers. The king touched her cheek, his fingers brushing across the stone, not her body. The stone over the crypt. Like there's a picture in the start of the chapter. You can see the picture. See the picture? It's illustrated, so you actually can see that is the brother, Brandon. No, Brandon is the father. That's his older brother there, and yeah, Brandon, and this is Lyanna statue. We were touching the statue. He said earlier that hopes his bisexuality will disappear. Sorry to hear that, man, but hopefully your friend will be right, and let's hope he I don't judge, but these issues, it's under my concern, but hopefully everybody will find the call in this world and deal with his own demons. Yeah, sorry to hear that. He's Muslim Israeli. Yeah. Bisexual doesn't know. Yeah. The Arabs not so quite strong on the LGBT stuff. Yeah, I know. All the queers for Palestine get a reality check. Yeah, they throw him out of roofs. It's not the only place for bisexual and all the LGBT is Israel, not any place in the Middle East. That's a hard reality. Sorry. Glenn told me the 6 snooze this ad break. We just had a 40 minutes ad break over here. Sorry, I don't want any more breaks over here. I'm gonna snooze it in a few more minutes. Just you don't get the ads just yet. I want to keep going. At least finish the first chapter. Yeah, hopefully your friend will find ease and deal with his demons. What book is this? I read a lot of Harry Potter. This is the first book of the Song of Ice and Fire, which is called Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is not the name of the series. The name of the series is A Song of Ice and Fire. This is the first book which is called the Game of Thrones. It's a very special illustrated edition in English. Reading with you guys for the first time. 6 books, yeah. Hopefully we'll get a 6th book in the lifetime, but I don't think so. Tel Aviv is good gay resort. Is the best gay resort, best gay city in the world, I think. Yeah. Never seen the show. Yeah. Only the first few seasons are good. You don't need to see it. The books are much better. Yeah, the book are much better. It was a good first few seasons, but they ruined it by the end. Don't watch it. It's better to watch the actual, read the actual book. Probably until the 4th season it's okay, but after 5th season it's become very not good. Some good, like the first few seasons are good because the actual by the book and change very few little things. When they stick to the script of George R.R. Martin, the original script, the first book, the second book, the third book is very good. But when they come back by the end of the 5th book and like starting the 6th book plot, which is not yet finished, they made up a lot of shite that never happened. They removed a lot of characters. It's much better in the books. Yeah, I don't recommend watching the show, but we're gonna snooze the ad breaks right now. Snooze for 5 minutes. I want to keep going, at least finish the first chapter, and maybe the second one after that I think is John, the first John chapter. This is the first other chapter, Enter 1, and after that is John. Then I think I finish because I don't want to get any more missile alerts or this type of shite anywhere else. Yes, thank you, man. Let's continue. Let's focus. Stay focused. Let's finish at least before the ad break. Finish the first chapter and the second chapter. Only a few more pages, and I think I do the John chapter after that. Keep it right now to chapters by session of reading, like I did 2 times before. But usually, like I had a lot of energy and I wanted to keep going, but the missile alert and going to the mamad, the shelters, it took me out of it. It's 40 minutes I can bring back, and time is very precious to me. I have a lot of things to do, and I have to sleep. I haven't slept in like more than almost, like in 48 hours I slept maybe 4 hours. It's not good. I need to sleep early today. I have a lot of things I need to do, so let's keep going. Yeah, I digress. You disappeared because of the missile alert? Yes, it's not the missile alert, it's actual missiles. You hear the booms, you hear the buildings shake, you hear the routine, our missiles come to intercept them. There's like a katbamim, which is like drones and like maybe sometimes planes. They come over and trying to, planes without a pilot, trying to bomb certain key, going past from the east, coming past us, going to probably Hadera to bomb the factories, trying to shut down the oil and everything. Yeah, it's a war. What can you do? It's not. Yeah, let's not talk about this shite. Let's continue. Let's finish at least the first Ezra chapter and maybe the John chapter after that, and we call it a day. I wanted to do a much more elaborate chapters, like at least like 4 chapters, but you see right now cannot. Yeah, let's keep going. Keep going on. community on YouTube right now is very. I have not high motivation to do anything over there. Just like I live right now on YouTube, but I don't do a lot over there. Just because I started on YouTube, but uh, they froze the monetization over there. I don't have the time to deal with this shit. But right now I'm focusing mainly on Twitch. Sometimes I do something over there, but I need to bring most of my community, big community over there, or in YouTube to Twitch platform because it's much better for me. But sometimes if I have a time, I will try to unfroze the monetization I got on YouTube because it's a lot of money. But yeah, what can I say? Ah, you've been following on YouTube since I began 12 years ago. How many long? Wow. Wow. That's a long time. I've been on YouTube a very long time. 2012, I think. Very long time. Wow, thank you. Thank you, man. Okay, let's keep going. Uh, okay, sorry guys. Let me drink some water. Let's focus on the reading. Yeah, let's read up. Yeah, read on. Let's read on. At least finish this chapter and do another chapter of John, the first John chapter. Episode 1, John 1, and then we have to call it quits before any more missile attacks. Liana has only been 16, a child woman of surpassing loveliness. Ned had loved her with all his heart. Robert had loved her even more. She was to have been his bride. She was more beautiful than that, the king said after a silence. His eyes lingered on Liana's face, as if he could will her back to life. Finally he rose, made awkward by his weight. Oh, damn it, Ned. Did you have to bury her in a place like this? His voice was hoarse with remembrance grief. She deserved more than darkness. She was a Stark of Winterfell, Ned said quietly. This is her place. She should be on a hill somewhere, under a fruit tree, with the sun and clouds above her and the rain to wash her clean. Let's take another snooze from the ads. Don't want to get ads right now. Want to keep going. She deserved more than darkness. She was a Stark of Winterfell, Ned said quietly. This is her place. She should be on a hill somewhere, under a fruit tree, with the sun and clouds above her and the rain to wash her clean. I was with her when she died, Ned reminded the king. She wanted to come home, to rest beside Brandon and father. He could hear her still, at times. Promise me, she had cried, in a room that smelled of blood and roses. Promise me, Ned. The fever had taken her strength, and her voice had been faint as a whisper. But when he gave her his word, the fear had gone out of his sister's eyes. Ned remembered. What did he promise her? That's one of the main conspiracies. Ned remembered the way she smiled then, how tightly her fingers had clutched his as she gave up a hold on life. The rose petals spilling from her palm, dead and black. After that, he remembered nothing. Fucking Discord sounds. Let me silence everything over here. Sorry about that. Let's keep going. Let's focus on the reading. Please focus if you finish this chapter. Okay. After that, he remembered nothing. They had found him still holding her body, silent with grief. Ned remembered the way she had smiled then, how tightly her fingers had clutched and gave up to hold on life. The rose bees knocked free out of his armor. In my dreams, I killed him every night, Robert admitted. 1,000 deaths will still be less than he deserves. There was nothing Ned could say to that. After a quiet, he said, "We should return, Your Grace. Your wife will be waiting." "The other take my wife," Robert muttered sourly. But he started back the way they had come, his footsteps falling heavily. "And if I hear Your Grace one more, I'll have your head on a spike. We are more to each other than that." "I've not forgotten," Ned replied quietly. When the king did not answer, he said, "Tell me about John." Robert shook his head. "I never seen a man sicken so quickly. We gave a tourney on my son's name day. If you had seen John then, you would have sworn he would live forever. A fortnight later, he was dead. The sickness was like a fire in his gut. It burned right through him. He passed beside the pillar, before the tomb of a long dead stark. I love that old man. We both did." Ned paused a moment. "Caitlin fears for her sister. How does Lysa bear her grief?" Another snooze for the end, then the last snooze I can do. I want to keep the streak going, at least finish this chapter. How does Lysa bear her grief? Robert's mouth gave a bitter twist. "Not well, in truth," he admitted. "I think losing John had driven the woman mad, Ned. She had taken the boy back to the Eyrie, against my wishes. I had hoped to foster him with Tywin Lannister at Castle Rock. John had no brothers, no other sons. Was I supposed to leave him to be raised by women? Ned would sooner entrust a child to a pit of vipers than Lord Tywin, but he left his doubts unspoken. Some old wounds never truly heal, and bleed again at the slightest word. The wife has lost the husband, he said carefully. Perhaps the mother feared to lose the son. The boy is very young, 6, and sickly. And lords of the Eyrie, gods have mercy." The king swore. Lord Tywin had never taken a ward before. Lysa ought to have honored Lysa ought to have been honored. The Lannisters are a great and noble house. She refused to even hear of it. Then she left in the dead of night, without so much as a by your leave it. Then she left in the dead of night without so much by your leave. Cersei was furious. He sighed deeply. "The boy is my namesake. Do you know that? Robert Arryn, I'm sworn to protect him. How can I do that if his mother steal him away?" "I will take him as ward if you wish," Ned said. "Lysa should consent to that. She and Caitlin were close as girls, and she be welcome here as well." "A generous offer, my friend," the king said, "but too late. Lord Tywin has already given his consent. Fostering the boy elsewhere would be a grievous affront to him. I have more concern of my nephew's welfare than I do for Lannister pride," Ned declared. "That is because you do not sleep with a Lannister," Robert laughed. The sound rattling amongst the tombs and bouncing from vaulted ceiling. His smile was a flash of white teeth in the thicket of a huge black beard. "Ah, Ned," he said, "you are still too serious." He put a massive arm around Ned's shoulders. "I had planned to wait a few days to speak to you, but I see now there's no need for it. Come, walk with me." They started back down between the pillars. Blind stone eyes seemed to follow them as they passed. The king kept his arm around Ned's shoulder. "You must have wondered why I finally came north to Winterfell after so long." Ned had his suspicions, but he did not give them voice. "For the joy of my company, surely," he said lightly. Vengeance says, "No doubt I will hear what your buzzer says soon enough," Robert said. "The wall has stood for what, 8,000 years? It can keep a few days more. I have more pressing concerns. There are difficult times. I need good men about me. Men like John Arryn. He served as Lord of the Eyrie, as Warden of the East, as a hand of the king. He will not easily be replaced." His son, Ned began. "His son will succeed to the Eyrie and all its incomes," Robert said brusquely. "No more." That took Ned by surprise. He stopped, startled, and turned to look at his king. The words came unbidden. "The Aryans have always been wardens of the East. The titles go with the domain. Perhaps when he comes of age, the honor can be restored to him," Robert said. "I have this ear to think of it. And next. A 6-year-old boy is no leader, Ned. In peace, the title is only an honor. Let the boy keep it, for his father's sake, if not his own. Surely you owe John that much for his service." Okay. Let's let this ad run. I read too slowly, but I will finish this chapter and John chapter after that. Back after the ad break. Sorry, didn't manage to. I want to finish at least this chapter. Okay. Join me after the ads. Thank you for supporting me right now. You can bring us something to eat, something to drink. I'm gonna eat something. Finally finish my tea, and I'm gonna join in a few minutes. Let's play a nice song of mine in the background. Okay. How much until the ad breaks ends? Half a minute. Okay, guys. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry, couldn't push these ad breaks enough. I read so slow. Okay, 8 minutes, we're back. Okay, we are back. Thank you for watching the ads. 2 people over here. Okay, let's continue. Let's finish the chapter. Maybe we do the next John chapter if I have enough energy. Only 2 pages. Sorry, I read so slow. Okay. The king was not pleased. Wait. Yeah, the king was not pleased. He took his arm from Ned around Ned's shoulders. John's service was the duty he owed his liege lord. I am not ungrateful, Ned. You, of all men, ought to know that. But the son is not the father. A mere boy cannot hold the east. Then his tone softened. Enough of this. There is more important office to discuss, and I would not argue with you. Robert grasped Ned by the elbow. I have need of you, Ned. I am yours to command, your grace, always. They were words he had to say, and so he said them. Apprehensive about that might come next. Robert scarcely seemed to hear him. Those years we spent in the Eyrie. Gods! Those were the days. I want you at my side again, Ned. I want you down in King's Landing, not up here in the end of the world, where you are no damn use to anybody. Robert looked off into the darkness, for a moment as melancholy as a star. I swear to you, sitting a throne is 1,000 times harder than winning one. Laws are a tedious business, and counting coppers is worse. And the people! There is no end of them. I sit on the damnable iron chair and listen to them complain until my head is numb and my ass is raw. They all want something. Money, or land, or justice. The lies they tell. And my lords and ladies are no better. I'm surrounded by flatterers and fools. It can drive a man to madness, Ned. Half of them don't dare to tell me the truth, and the other half can't find it. There are no knights I wish to have lost at the Trident. There are knights I wish we had lost at the Trident. Ah, no, not truly, but I understand, Ned said softly. Robert looked at him. I think you do. If so, you are the only one, my old friend. He smiled. Lord Eddard Stark, I would name you the Hand of the King. Ned dropped to one knee. The offer did not surprise him. What other reasons could Robert had for coming so far? The Hand of the King was the second most powerful man in the Seven Kingdoms. He spoke with the king's voice, commanded the king's armies, drafted the king's laws. At times he even sat upon the iron throne to dispense king's justice. When the king was absent or sick or otherwise indisposed, Robert was offering him a responsibility as large as the realm itself. It was the last thing in the world he wanted. Your Grace, he said, I am not worthy of the honor. Robert groaned with a good-humored impatience. If I wanted to honor you, I'd let you retire. I'm planning to make you run my kingdom and fight the wars while I eat and drink and wench myself into the early grave. He slapped his gut and grinned. You know the saying about the king and his hand? Ned knew the saying. What the king dreams, he said, the hand builds. I betted a fisherman once who told me the low bone have choicier way to put it. The king eats, they say, and the hands take the shit. He threw back his head and roared his laughter. The echoes rang through the darkness, and all around them the dead of Winterfell seemed to watch with cold and disapproving eyes. Finally the laughter dwindled and stopped. Ned was still on one knee, his eyes upraised. "Damn it, Ned," the king complained. "You might at least humor me with a smile." They said it grows so cold up here in winter that a man's laughter freezes in his throat and chokes him to death, Ned said evenly. "Perhaps that is why the Starks have so little humor." "Come south with me, and I'll teach you how to laugh again," the kings promised. "You helped me win this damnable throne. Now help me hold it. We were meant to rule together. If Lyanna had lived, we should have been brothers, bound by blood, as well as affection. Well, it's not too late. I have a son, you have a daughter. My Joff and your Sansa shall join our houses, as Lyanna and I might once have done." This offer did surprise him. Sansa is only 11. Robert waved an impatient hand. "Old enough for betrothal. The marriage can wait a few years," the king smiled. "Now stand up and say yes, curse you." "Nothing would give me a greater pleasure, your grace," Ned answered. He hesitated. "These honors are all so unexpected. May I have some time to consider? I need to tell my wife." Yes, of course. Tell Caitlin. Sleep on it if you must." The king reached down, clasped Ned by the hand, and pulled him roughly to his feet. "Just don't keep me waiting too long. I'm not the most patient of men." For a moment Eddard Stark was filled with a terrible sense of foreboding. This was his place, here in the north. He looked at the stone figures all around them, breathed deep in the chilled silence of the crypt. He could feel the eyes of the dead. They were all listening. He knew, and winter was coming. End of this chapter. Okay, what I'm gonna do right now is the first John chapter, and we're gonna end the stream because I really need to sleep. This is the picture you get at the start of this John chapter, John 1. You see Tyrion Lannister go through I think it's the halls of Neverwinter, when he talks to Jon. Like you see, there's like a description in this chapter. In one moment, the shadow of the imp of Tyrion Lannister was as big as a giant, or something like that. You can see his shadow is very big over here. So very nice illustration. Yeah. Okay, Jon. There were times, not many, but a few, when Jon Snow was glad he was a bastard, as he filled his wine cup once more from a passing flagon. It struck him that this might be one of them. He settled back in his place on the bench among the younger squires and drank. The sweet, fruity taste of summer wine filled his mouth and brought a smile to his lips. The great hall of Winterfell was hazy with smoke and heavy with the smell of roasted meat and fresh baked bread. Its grey stone walls were draped with banners, white, gold, crimson. The direwolf of Stark, Baratheon's crowned stag, the lion of Lannister. A singer was playing the high harp and reciting a ballad. But down at the end of the hall, his voice could scarcely be heard, above the roar of the fire, the clangor of pewter plates and cups, and the low mutter of 100 drunken conversations. Oh, this is one of the best chapters in the beginning. I like it. A very nice conversation between Tyrion and Jon. It was the 4th hour of the welcoming feast laid for the king. Jon's brothers and sisters had been seated with the royal children. Beneath the raised platform where Lord and Lady Stark hosted the kings and queen. In honor of the occasion, his Lord Father would doubtless permit each child a glass of wine, but no more than that. Down here on the benches, there was no one to stop John drinking as much as he had thirst for. And he was finding that he had a man's thirst, to the rancorous delight of the youths around him, who urged him on every time he drained a glass. They were fine company, and John relished the stories they were telling, tales of battle and bedding and the hunt. He was certain that his companions were more entertaining than the king's offspring. He had seated his curiosity about the visitors when they made their entrance. The procession had passed not a foot from the place he had been given on the bench, and John had gotten a good long look at them all. I like this chapter so much. Just a second, let me check if there's no another missile alert or something. Oh my god! הכוח הזה. Fuck this missile alert. הכוח הזה כבר. Let's keep going. And he has finding that he has a man first, to the rancorous delight of the youths around him, who urged him on every time he drained a glass. They were fine company, and John relished the stories they were telling, tales of battle and bedding and the hunt. He was certain that his companions were more entertaining than the king's offspring. He had stated his curiosity about the visitors when they made their entrance. The procession had passed not a foot from the place he had been given on the bench, and John had gotten a good long look at them all. His Lord Father had come first, escorting the queen. She was as beautiful as the man said. A jeweled tiara gleamed amidst her long golden hair, its emeralds a perfect match for the green of her eyes. His father helped her up the steps to the dais and led her to her seat. But the queens never so much as looked at him. Even at 14, John could see through a smile. Next had come King Robert himself with Lady Stark on his arm. The king was a great disappointment to John. His father had talked to him often. The peerless Robert Baratheon, demon of the trident, the fiercest warrior of the realm, a giant among princes. John saw only a fat man, red-faced under his beard, sweating through his silks. He walked like a man half in the cups. After them came the children, little Rickon first, managing the long walk with all the dignity a 3-year-old could muster. John had to urge him on when he stopped to visit. Close behind came Rob, in grey wool, trimmed with white Stark colors. He had the Princess Myrcella on his arm. She was a wisp of a girl, not quite 8. Her hair a cascade of golden curls under, twin the tables, and timid way she smiled at him under the jeweled net. John noticed the shy looks she gave Rob as he passed between the tables and the timid way she smiled at him. He decided she was insipid. Rob didn't even have the sense to realize how stupid she was. He was grinning like a fool. His half-sisters escorted the royal princess. Arya was paired with plump young Tommen, whose white blonde hair was longer than hers. Sansa, 2 years older, drew the crown prince, Joffrey Baratheon. He was 12. younger than John or Rob, but taller than either. To John's vast dismay, Prince Joffrey had his sister's hair and his mother's deep green eyes. A thick tangle of blonde hair, blonde curls, dripped down past his golden choker and a high velvet collar. Sansa looked radiant as she walked beside him, but John did not like Joffrey's pouty lips or the bored, disdainful way he looked at Winterfell's great hall. He was more interested in the pair that came behind him, the Queen's brothers, the Lannisters of Casterly Rock, the Lion and the Imp. There was no mistaking which is which. Sir Jaime Lannister was twin to Queen Cersei, tall and golden, with flashing green eyes and a smile that cut like a knife. He wore crimson silk, high black boots, a black satin cloak on the breast of his tunic. The lion of his house was embodied in gold thread, roaring its defiance. They called him the Lion of Lannister to his face and whispered Kingslayer behind his back. John found it hard to look away from him. This is what a king should look like, he thought to himself as the man passed. Then he saw the other one, waddling along half hidden by his brother's side. Tyrion Lannister, the youngest of Lord Tywin's brood, and by far the ugliest. All that the gods had given to Cersei and Jaime, they had denied Tyrion. He was a dwarf, half his brother's height, struggled to keep pace on stunted legs. His head was too large for his body, with a brute, squashed-in face beneath a swollen shelf of brow. One green eye and one black one peered out under the lank fall of hair so blonde it seemed white. John watched him with fascination. The last of the High Lords to enter were his uncle Benjen Stark of the Night's Watch and his father Ward, young Theon Greyjoy. Benjen gave John a warm smile as he went by. Theon ignored him utterly, but there was nothing new in that. After all had been seated, toast were made, thanks were given and returned, and then the feasting began. Theon ignored him utterly, but there was nothing new at that. After all had been seated, toasted and made, thanks were given and returned, and then the feasting began. John had started drinking then, and he had not stopped. Something rubbed against his leg beneath the table. John saw red eyes staring up at him. Hungry again? He asked. There was still half a honeyed chicken in the center of the table. John reached out to tear off a leg, then had a better idea. He knifed the bird whole and let the carcass slide to the floor between his legs. Ghost ripped into its savage silence. His brother and sisters had not been permitted to bring the wolves to the banquet. But there was more cars than John could count at this end of the hall, and no one had said a word about his pup. He told himself he was fortunate in that too. His eyes stung. John rubbed them savagely, cursing the smoke. He swallowed another gulp of wine and watched the direwolf devour the chicken. Dogs moved between the tables, trailing after the serving girls. One of them, a black mongrel bitch with long yellow eyes, caught a scent of chicken. She stopped and edged under the bench to get a shell. John watched the confrontation. The bitch growled low in her throat and moved closer. Ghost looked up, silent, and fixed the dog with those hot red eyes. The bitch snapped an angry challenge. She was 3 times the size of the direwolf pup. Ghost did not move. He stood over his prize and opened his mouth, baring his fangs. The bitch tensed, barked again, then thought better of his fight. She turned and slunk away. with one last defiant snap to save her pride. Ghost went back to his meal. John grinned and reached under the table to ruffle the shaggy white fur. The direwolf looked up at him, nipped gently at his hand, then went back to eating. Is this one of the direwolves I've heard so much of? A familiar voice asked close at hand. John looked up happily at his Uncle Ben. With great power, Uncle Ben put a hand on his head and ruffled his hair much as John had ruffled the wolf's. Yes, he said. His name is Ghost. One of the squires interpreted the bawdy story he'd been telling to make room at the table for the Lord's brother. Benjamin Stark straddled the bench with long legs and took the wine cup out of John's head. Summer wine, he said after a taste. Nothing so sweet. How many cups have you had, John? John smiled. Ben Stark laughed. As I feared. Ah well, I believe I was younger than you the first time I got truly and sincerely drunk. He snagged a roasted onion, dripping it down with gravy from a nearby trencher and bit into it. It crunched. His uncle was sharp-featured and gaunt as mountainous crag, but there was always a hint of laughter in his blue-grey eyes. He dressed in black, as befitted a man of the Night's Watch. Tonight it was rich black velvet, with high leather boots and a white belt with silver buckle. A heavy silver chain was looped around his neck. Benjamin watched Ghost with amusement as he ate his onion. A very quiet wolf, he observed. He's not like the others, John said. He never makes a sound. That's why I named him Ghost. That, and because he's white. The others are all dark, grey or black. There are still direwolves beyond the wall. We hear them on our raging. Benjamin Stark gave John a long look. Don't you usually eat at the table with your brothers? Most times, John answered in a flat voice. But tonight, Lady Stark thought it might give insult to the royal family to sit a bastard among them. I see. His uncle glanced over his shoulder at the raised table at the far end of the hall. My brothers does not seem very festive tonight. John had noticed that too. A bastard had to learn to notice things, to read the truth that people hid behind their eyes. His father was observing all the courtesies, but there was tightness in him that John had seldom seen before. 2 seats away, the kings had been drinking heavily all night. His broad face was flushed behind a great black beard. He made many a toast, laughed loudly at every jest, and attacked each dish like it was a starving man. But beside him, the queen seems as cold as ice sculpture. The queen is angry too, John told his uncle a low, quiet voice. Second? Sorry. Sorry. Let's continue. The queen is sad too. Barbaz does not seem very festive. His broad face was flushed behind a great beard. He made many a toast, laughed at every joke, every jest, and attacked each dish like he was a starving man. But beside him, the queen seems as cold as the ice sculpture. The queen is angry too, John told his uncle in a low, quiet voice. Father took the king down to the crypts this afternoon. The queen did not want him to go. Benjamin gave John a careful, measuring look. You don't miss much, do you, John? We could use a man like you on the wall. John swelled with pride. Rob is a stronger lance than I am, but I am the better sword, and the Holland says I sit a horse as well as anyone in the castle. Notable achievements. Take me with you when you go back to the wall, John said in a sudden rush. Father will give me leave to go if you ask him. I know he will. Uncle Benjamin studied his face carefully. The war is a hard place for a boy, John. I am almost a man grown, John protested. I will turn 15 on my next name day, and Master Lewin says bastards grow up faster than other children. That's true enough, Bennett said with a downward twist of his mouth. He took John's cup from the table, filled it with fresh from a nearby pitcher, and drank down a long swallow. Daring Targaryen was only 14 when he conquered Dorne, John said. The young dragon was one of his heroes. A conquest that lasted a summer, his uncle pointed out. Your boy king lost 10,000 men taking the place, and another 50 trying to hold it. Someone should have told him that war isn't a game. He took another sip of wine. Also, he said, wiping his mouth, Daring Targaryen was only 18 when he died. Or have you forgotten that part? I forgot nothing, John boasted. The wine was making him bold. He tried to sit very straight, to make himself seem taller. I want to serve in the night's watch, uncle. He had thought on it long and hard, lying in bed at night while his brothers slept around him. Robb would someday inherit Winterfell, would command great armies in the Warden of the North. Bran and Rickon would be Robb's bannermen and rule holdfast in his name. His sister Arya and Sansa would marry the heirs of other great houses and go south as mistress of castle of their own. But what place could a bastard hope to earn? You don't know what you are asking, John. The Night's Watch is a sworn brotherhood. We have no families. None of us will ever father sons. Our wife is duty. Our mistress is honor. A bastard can have honor too, John said. I am ready to swear your oath. You are a boy of 14, Benjen said. Not a man, not yet. Until you have known a woman, you cannot understand what you would be giving up. I don't care about that, John said haughtily. You might, if you knew what it meant, Benjen said. If you knew what the oath would cost you, you might be less eager to pay the price, son. John felt anger rise inside him. I am not your son. Benjen stood up. More's the pity. He put a hand on John's shoulder. Come back to me after you fathers a few bastards of your own, and we'll see how you feel. John trembled. I will never father a bastard, he said carefully. Never. He spat it out like a venom. Suddenly he realized that the table had fallen silent, and they were all looking at him. He felt the tears begin to well behind his eyes. He pushed himself to his feet. I must be excused, he said with the last of his dignity. He wailed and battled before they could see him cry. He must have drunk more wine than he had realized. His feet got tangled under him as he tried to leave, and the lurch sideways into the serving girls and sent a flagon spiced wine crashing to the floor. Laughter boomed all around him, and John felt hot tears on his cheeks. Someone tried to steady him. He wrenched free of the grip and ran half blind for the door. Ghost followed close at his heels, out into the night. The yard was quiet and empty. A lone sentry stood high on the battlements of the inner wall, his cloak pulled tight around him against the cold. He looked bored and miserable. Okay, that's the best part of the chapter. I really like the dialogue between Tyrion and Jon. Check this out. He looked bored and miserable as he huddled there alone. But Jon would have traded places with him in an instant. Otherwise, the castle was dark and deserted. Jon had seen an abandoned holdfast once, a drear place when nothing moved but the wind, and the stones kept silence about whatever people had lived there. Winterfell reminded him of that tonight. The sounds of music and song spilled throughout the open windows. Behind him, they were the last things John wanted to hear. He wiped away his tears on the sleeve of the shirt, furious he had let them fall, and turned to go. "Boy!" A voice called out to him. John returned. Tyrion Lannister was sitting on the ledge above the door of the Great Hall, looking for all the world like a gargoyle. The dwarf grinned down to him. "Is that animal a wolf?" "A direwolf," John said. "His name is Ghost." He stared up at the little man, his disappointment suddenly forgotten. "What are you doing up here? Why aren't you at the feast?" "Too hot, too noisy, and I drank too much wine," the dwarf told him. "I learned long ago that it is considerable rude to vomit on your brother. Might I have a closer look at your wolf?" John hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Can you climb down, or shall I bring a ladder?" "Oh, bleed that," the little man said. He pushed himself off the ledge into the empty air. John gasped, then watched with awe as Tyrion Lannister spun around in a light ball, landed lightly on his hands, then vaulted backwards onto his legs. Ghost backed away from his uncertainty. The dwarf dusted himself off and laughed. "I believe I frightened your wolf. My apologies." "He's not scared," John said. He knelt and called out, "Ghost, come here. Come on, that's it." The wolf pup padded closer and nuzzled at John's face, but he kept a wary eye on Tyrion Lannister. And when the dwarf reached out to pet him, he drew back and bared his fangs in a silent snarl. "Shy, isn't it?" Lannister observed. "Sit, Ghost," John commanded. "That's it. Keep still." He looked up at the dwarf. "You can touch him now. He won't move until I tell him to. I've been training him." "I see," Lannister said. He ruffled the snow-white fur between Ghost's ear and said, "Nice wolf." Okay, that's the end of the chapter. It's a very small chapter. "If I wasn't here, you'd tear out your throat," John said. It wasn't actually true yet, but it would be. "In that case, you had best stay close," the dwarf said. He cocked his oversized head to one side and looked John over his mismatched eyes. "I am Tyrion Lannister." "I know," John said. He rose. Standing, he was taller than the dwarf. It made him feel strange. "You're Ned Stark bastard, aren't you?" John felt a coldness pass right between him. He pressed his lips together and said nothing. "Did I offend you?" Lannister said. "Sorry. Dwarfs don't have to be tactful. Generation of capering fools in Malty have won me at right, dress badly, and say any damn thing that comes into my head." He grinned. "You are the bastard, though." "Lord Eddard Stark is my father," John admitted stiffly. Lannister studied his face. "Yes," he said, "I can see it. You have more of the North in you than your brothers." "Half-brothers," John corrected. He was pleased by the dwarf comment, but he tried not to let it show. "Let me give you some counsel, bastard," Lannister said. "Never forget what you are, for surely the world will not. Make it your strength, then it can never be your weakness. Armor yourself in it, and it will never be used to hurt you." John was in no mood for anyone's counsel. "What do you know about being a bastard?" "All dwarfs are bastards in their father's eyes." "You are your mother's true-born son of Lannister." "Am I?" the dwarf replied, sardonic. "Do tell my lord father, my mother died birthing me, and he's never been sure." I don't even know who my mother was, John said. Some woman, no doubt. Most of them are. He flavored John with a rueful grin. Remember this, boy. All dwarfs may be bastards, yet not all bastards need to be dwarfs. And with that, he turned and started back into the feast, whistling a tune. When he opened the door, the light from within threw his shadow clear across the yard, and for just a moment, Tyrion Lannister stood tall as a king. Beautiful, beautiful. I like this chapter so much. My favorite one in the beginning. And now we come back to Caitlyn 2, second Caitlyn chapter, and I'm gonna stop it right here. There's a nice picture of King Robert over here, as you can see. Fatty King. Okay, that was a nice little session over here. Thank you guys. Thank you for the new follow, Mr. Amor Gikon, if I pronounce it correctly. Thank you for everybody that watched my stream. Thank you guys being me in the missile alert. Sorry for the 40 minutes wait, it is at my control. And yeah, thank you for Mikolate. Hope you have a nice relaxing night, my friend. Not like the last one, and I really need to sleep right now. I'm really tired. I haven't slept a lot in the last few days. I need a lot of sleep right now, so I'm gonna end it here. If it didn't stop me, maybe I would have done like the Caitlyn chapter and the Arya chapter after that, but or is it Bran chapter after that? Let me just check. I really like the picture over here, the illustrated picture. Yeah, the next one is Arya and then Bran. Okay, second Bran is very good, but yeah, that's a nice picture of King Robert, Fatty King, with the beard and everything. Like you can see, feel his volume. Very nice. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end it right now. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for the support, for watching the ads, for staying with me like a little crowd over here when actually was the missile alert. And all my Israeli friends, have a nice, relaxing night. I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, probably. I have a meeting tomorrow and I have a lot of things I need to do. Maybe I'll visit my close friend Zohar, be with her. Maybe tomorrow no planned stream, but if I have enough time, maybe I do like a nice little stream. But you're gonna see me hopefully on Tuesday morning or Tuesday night, or maybe I do like 2 streams. And Tuesday I need to get back to like a usual casual actual stream schedule like I used to have. It's very difficult times right now for everybody, but I really need to get a hold of myself and get back to a usual schedule so more people could plan ahead and join me when they know what's coming. Thank you for being here with me. Do this first of all myself, but every one of you is a bonus, great boon for me. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Misery friends, have a nice relaxing night, and everybody over in the world have a relaxed night. And peace and love, the grace of God, and have a good night, guys. Bye bye.